Alright guys, what's going on? Chili Games back again. We are finally in the parseval. I tried to play this on stream last night and I played it a little bit today. I think I have maybe like 10 to 15 games under my belt in it so far, and I think we're really starting to hit our stride. And honestly, this game is kind of an outlier, but the amount of damage and the amount of critical damage that we're able to put out in this game is probably one of my most efficient games in a carrier so far. And this is going to be kind of a showcase of what the parseval can do when a lot of things go your way, basically, and your team isn't really in danger of losing. But in terms of the damage potential that this thing can put out, man, it is pretty sky high. AP bombs that hit for 9,500 per citadel, and the torpedoes, which are better than Lexingtons but not as good as Shikaku's. They are very, very good for hits though. Fast planes, really fast torpedoes, and in my opinion that just makes hitting floods easier. And you're going to see that come into play almost twice. Get some plane kills on the it's so funny when you drop fighter planes and the enemy squadron just drives right through them, and it's just like a buzzsaw when you see those little plane icons coming up. So what I'm doing with the torpedo planes first is I'm looking for targets that have used damage cons. Battleships really love to use damage cons early, especially at the beginning of the game, and with these fast planes you can get out here really, really fast. But I decided to go for the Helena because he was giving me a kind of a broadside target here, a nice easy way to get 3 torpedo hits, and I would call that a success. Every time, the goal when I send out a squadron of planes is at least 3 torpedo hits, or with the AP bombs, significant damage. Obviously you want a citadel every time, and trust me, that will come in about 3 or 4 minutes. We have a handful of citadels to hand out today, and the target that we're able to deliver them on is it's kind of sad. It's actually really sad. So again, coming in from the side, I'm watching the Iowa's health bar. Like, I have my eyes fixed on it. Once you see the little health bar like go back and forth like that with the white, that's usually fire, because fire ticks the health bar like that. So, to ensure that I get this drop-off flying through the Edinburgh and the Iowa's flak, I use my skill that makes my planes invulnerable. I know, a lot of skill being handed out today. And I'm going to the back of a ship. I just figured it'd be a little bit easier, and I want to hit a flood, and we actually do. So that was a pretty extremely, I wouldn't say extremely lucky, but I mean, considering that we only hit one and we kind of missed the other two, definitely a pretty lucky hit there. But I was paying attention to the Iowa using its damage con, and I was giving my torpedoes the best chance of doing a lot of damage over time. If you can hit a perma flood like that on a battleship that just used it, you're securing at least 30, 40, 50,000 damage, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Carriers are not about damage. I mean, they can be. There's some games where the carrier is just in the best place to do a ton of damage. But for the most part, if you can focus on your targets, and we actually kill the Iowa there, if you can focus on and prioritize the right targets, you know, there might be a lot of different targets, but if you know a certain ship has just used its damage con, it's probably worth your while to go try and flood him, because if you flood a target with, you know, a damage con active, then you're not going to get any floods. So I was giving my torpedoes the best chance there. Going in for the Suzuka, we use our skill again, and just going to come right behind this Bismarck. His counterplay, his AA is working fantastic. He has no counter against this. And at this point in time, just dodge did not work for him. 2 citadels there. That was like 21,000 damage, I think, something like that. 22. I didn't look back at it. But we definitely aren't done with the Bismarck. The Bismarck yet. And man, when you can reliably get 3 torpedo hits per strike, and you can reliably start hitting those big AP chunks, whether citadels. And I found the citadels a little bit inconsistent. Citadeling cruisers is actually quite difficult, just because they are much more maneuverable, and they're smaller, so they don't fit into the reticle as much. So going after those battleships for those big citadel hits is probably what you want to do here, and get the follow-up kill on the Suzuya. That's why I love these torpedo planes, man. I mean, the Lexington has good torps too. I mean, they're fast, but they have a wider spread, so most cruisers can usually dodge them. But with the Japanese and the German planes, you see how like small that reticle is? Like you can fit a lot of torps into that, and it pretty much ensures that when we send out a torpedo squadron, we can do the most damage possible. We landed 6 torpedoes in that amount of time, and that's pretty massive. We cleaned up pretty much a half-health cruiser and gave ourselves the best chance to permaflood a battleship, or at least let him use his damage con. But we have the AP bombers loaded again. Obviously, this is a steamroll of a game. Not saying that this is particularly impressive. At this point in time, I'm just hoping that the enemy starts to kill some of our people so that I can look over there at that Scharnhorst and try to actually start getting some damage on him. Unfortunately, they do ram over there, which is going to be a little sad, but they traded the points a little bit. Coming in for the Bismarck again, and I don't really know what to say about this, because realistically, there's no counterplay for this. Again, we hit him with 2 citadels, 19,000 damage. That's AP damage, and you can't heal AP damage or citadel damage like you can HE. Lexington has those big, hits with the HE bombs, and you can light fires, but you can damage con the fires if you have it. And you can also heal that damage back. With AP, you can't do that. So this damage, when it hits, it sticks hard, and we don't end up getting the kill on that guy. That would have been kind of sad and also kind of funny at the same time, but it is what it is. I'm just going to leave him to die at this point. We have annoyed him enough, but we're already at 122,000 damage. 10 torpedo hits, 6 citadels. This ship is ridiculous. I don't know if it's the best, honestly. I don't like how slow the Lexington planes are, and I feel more comfortable torpedoing destroyers with the Shikaku and the Parseval. Lexington HE bombs just are not reliable enough to actually, hit destroyers. I think your best bet is to try and get better with torpedoes, because if you hit 1 torpedo for Parseval, it's usually about 5,000–6,000 damage, but for a destroyer, that's like a third, even maybe a half of their health. So you can really do a lot of damage once you get better at torpedoing certain targets like destroyers, stuff like that. And definitely think I'm starting to hit my stride with this ship. It was a little annoying yesterday trying to play it. Just update day is kind of rough, and going in for the glory shot on Iowa here, but his health is ticking down pretty fast. I think this ship has a lot of potential in it, and I was really hoping this game was going to go on further, because I really wanted to drop some bombs on that Scharnhorst in the back. That would have been hilarious. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it. And if you did notice, I did not move my carrier a single inch. 144,000 damage, not risking my ship at all. If you notice at the end as well, I had full planes. I didn't really realistically lose a plane that game, because they recharge, and I was able to put out this much damage on just targets that had basically no counterplay to it. So if you enjoyed this little showcase of the Parseval, please leave a like. If you don't, and you hate carriers and you want to leave a dislike, I honestly don't blame you. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Hope y'all have a good one, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.